Hello everyone, this is Diane. Well, I've had some questions about how I'm going to soak off these images, these antique images from scrapbook pages. I mentioned it in my recent Where Do I Get My Ephemera video, and several people asked how I would go about doing this. I normally do it in my sink, my kitchen sink, but I can't film out there. So I brought a pan of water in here. This is the pan I use for coffee dyeing my papers. And my phone is suspended just above this pan of water. It has never fallen out of this thing that I have it in. But why am I afraid that it's going to fall out today? We shall see. Well, I'm going to just start. This is warm water in here, and there are images on both sides, but I can tear right here without tearing anything because it's nothing right there, because I need to make them small enough to fit in this pan. So I have 3 pieces on this side. This is a vellum piece that that you could get from Tim Holtz. I don't think this piece right here is antique, because it seems like a new piece. I know that the Tim Holtz things are reproductions of antique things, but this just feels like vellum. I have 1 piece here and these pieces, so I'm just going to put this down in my water. I have some paper towels on the floor next to me, and I'm just going to soak that for a few minutes. And I only have 1 piece here, so I tore that, so we have a piece here and that little piece there. And then this will fit in just like that. So I'm just going to soak that for a few minutes. Here we have a piece floating free already. It's a portion of something that was already torn. It's a dog's head and a girl's head. Oh, it came off of this actually. Yeah. So I might be able to glue them down so that they can go together. So while they're soaking, I'll just tell you, I think I had 2 scrapbooks, a big one and a smaller one. And the smaller one, they weren't glued in with the same type of glue. So I was able to remove the things. They still have pieces of the scrapbook on them, but I don't mind that. So I have some cards, and I was able to remove some of the pieces from this scrapbook. So this is what I have so far from those 2 scrapbooks. Lots of pieces. Once I have everything out and dried, then I will go through them and pick out what I want to keep, and then put the rest in bundles to put in my shop. Let's see how we're doing here. This was the first to go in. Now, I was very afraid the first time I did this because, well, I just didn't know. But, oh, I just tore that. So we do have to be careful. But the first time I did this, I let them soak. Maybe I just didn't leave them soak long enough. I let them soak for a while, and when I went back to check, there were pieces just floating on top of the water. And I thought, oh, that was easy. And they weren't damaged. See, this is loose here. It's also torn. I mean, the scrapbook paper is torn. This must have been a really good glue. I'm hoping this is going to work, because they seem like they're really glued down very well. Well, I'm just going to continue to prep some pages to soak while we wait. I don't think I'll even soak this one. That's good enough, just like that. And the pages are extremely fragile, so they're already torn. I have this large piece that came out of a magazine. If I can't salvage that, it's okay. Well, that page fits in there just like that. I'll just keep that the way it is. And this one, now these are really thin pages from Harper's Weekly, I think. And I don't know about soaking that. I could just cut around it. That little girl is torn and this is torn. So I think I'll just cut around this and preserve this picture. So I don't peel the image away from the page. I peel the page away from the image as much as I can. I was just going to cut around this, but large pieces of it were already loose, so I thought I would try and see how much I can get loose. I think I'm going to get all of it. Okay, that's good enough. So there's that. See, do we have anything coming off the paper yet? I hope so. This was the last thing I put in. Peel the paper off. So if a little bit of it stays stuck in the middle of the piece, it's okay. That must have been the really good glue back in the day. I just don't want any of the scrapbook paper showing around the edges of the piece. Okay, that's starting to tear. I think that's good enough. I'm going to put that on the paper towel. Now it's coming loose very nicely. I was a little impatient to begin with. Look at that. It came off very nicely. One thing you have to watch for is sometimes the back is sticky because you're softening the glue, so it might stick to the paper towel. I'm going to lay this down, face down. All right, let's see what else we have here. can be a tedious process. And I have things on both sides, so I want to be careful. If this magazine page gets ruined, that won't matter that much. Oh, that came off really nicely. It's layered. I don't know if it's, I don't think it's multiple pieces. Yeah, it's just got a layer on top of, oh, it's a metallic image of this that's underneath. It says, "In fond remembrance." I just want to see how this comes up. It's not. I like this mushroom piece. It's already cracking. It doesn't help that the scrapbook paper is much more fragile than the other ones that I've done, and so the scrapbook paper cracks, and when that cracks, it takes the vintage piece along with it. So that's nice. It does have a crack in it, a tear in it, but a couple of them. But I will use that. That is beautiful. Well, I can tell this isn't going to be as easy as the other ones that I've done. Presented to Alma Eastman by C.M. Sargent, teacher. That's just tearing. Okay, so what I think I will do is let some things soak for a while, a little bit longer, and then I'll come back. That one came off nicely. That one's really glued down, so that might be a newer, it doesn't look like it's that old. It might be newer, glued in the same time this was. Because the image looks old, but the paper doesn't. I don't know, maybe it is. All right, I'm gonna let it soak. I'll get some more soaking. Here's another page from Harper's Monthly. Or is it Harper's Weekly? There's nothing on the back of it. So I'll work on that like I did the other one, see if that comes off. But I can do that later. I'm not going to soak it. I think that magazine paper is much too fragile. There's another page of that, but here I have a couple of cards. I tore that magazine. This one has lots of pieces on both sides. I'd like to preserve her, even though her hand is missing. She wasn't cut out very well. But I like her. So, take these edges off. That doesn't help because that's in the way. I'll soak as much of it as I can. It'd be better in my sink. These are some wonderful pieces. Look at that. So pretty. Flag salt cures headaches. Don't want to tear this. A little piece of the leaf came off, but the rest of it is fine. That came off. So now I can tear to get the puppy off. It was double-sided at one time. I thought it was a thicker piece. So the bottom half of him is missing. I'm not going to try soaking him. He's fine the way he is. Okay, I'm going to put this in. Some of these are just popping off. That is gorgeous. And this poppy card is beautiful. Oh, this has pieces on this side. Guess I'll try soaking this now that I can tear it small enough. I thought this was going to be a short video, but this is taking... I didn't expect to do the whole scrapbook. I don't expect to do the whole scrapbook, but I wanted to show you soaking for a little while and then removing them. But ooh, look at that one. Oh, that's beautiful. That came off perfectly. That's an advertising card for a sewing machine. Looks like it was glued in something else previously. Oh. For her. Okay, I'm going to soak that because I'll have to tape her together, but I really like her. It's really hard to work on both sides of the page. That one was good. That one was good. Isn't that cute? An advertisement for Clark's. ONT. I looked up to see what ONT meant one time, but I forgot now. The pan's getting full. Let's go down to the bottom and see if we have anything coming off. I want to show you that it does work to soak them. I'm just kind of working my fingers between the card and the scrapbook paper, not pulling too much, just kind of sliding my fingers under carefully. Days soap. This is sturdier, so I'm going to take this one off first. That's for Coco. Someone else asked me how I alcohol ink metal pieces. So maybe I'll demonstrate that too in a different video. And someone else is also curious about what I'll do with those prong paper fasteners. I got a box of them. So I'll do a project with them. This looks like the back of it shows that it's a ink blotter. It has that surface for ink blotting on it. There, I got that little girl. This one is torn already. Let's see if we can pull it off. Oh yes, that's nice. Oh, there's a candle underneath that. Christmas candle. This looks like it came out of a booklet or something, and it's got a page to write on here. That's nice. I like that. I've seen some advertising cards that have that kind of a ledger look on the back, but that one was more papery than card. So that's why I thought it came out of a booklet, but I could be wrong. This was cut off a Christmas card. Oops, there goes the flame. It's got glue on top of it because that other piece was glued on it. Let's see how this lady is now. Beautiful. I think she came out of a magazine. Oh, it's card, maybe the cover of a magazine. Or she might have just been cut out of a advertising card. There's that. It's not particularly pretty. The image is pretty. It's got a fan and a man driving some horses with a harvester, it looks like. But it's gray. And I think it was cut out of a book or magazine, maybe. But I'm going to keep it. I'm gonna set it down to dry. So there's that page done. Can I salvage her? She's on very thin paper. This is coming off nicely now that it's had time to soak. How pretty and vibrant. Now maybe I can rescue her. Well, that tore off. A corner came off. Got some hair stuck in it. Wonder if it's the original gluer's hair. Wouldn't that be something? Could be mine. Looked a little dark for mine, though. Well, it's not great, but I will salvage her, even if I have to trim, because I'm going to use her. Now, this looks like olives. Right? Is that what they look like? There they are. So you just have to let them soak long enough, but keep an eye on them so they don't soak so long that they completely disintegrate. How gorgeous is that? Some of those little tiny thin pieces are coming off, but I don't think that matters too much. I'll try to do everything in this pan before I call this video done. I love this beautiful lily type of flower. Very, very thin stem there. Okay. Well, this patriotic dude lost his head. Might be Uncle Sam there. See what we have given to the world. Hold to the light. Wonder what it says on the back, if we'll be able to read it. Oh, look at that. This part's backwards. It says the Everett piano. Well, I don't know how that makes sense. He's standing on two ships. Each of his feet is on a ship in the harbor. I was hoping it would tell me where that is. This came out of a magazine, an advertisement for horses. This doesn't look Victorian. I think somebody had this Victorian scrapbook and added some more modern pieces to it. It's a little flower. I can still use that flower to accent something. A little blossom came off. It is pretty. It's probably vintage, but probably not antique. It just doesn't look that old to me. There's the moon people and the owls. They must have floated off a page. I like when that happens. It's a pretty card. I can feel the glue, the wet glue on this. Slimy glue. This is a postcard that they could mail, the company could mail, but it's advertising paint. White lead. Don't think so. See, there's a hair in there. I don't know if it's mine. A dog and some kind of, I don't know what kind of bird that is with a beak that long. I don't know. I hope this isn't too boring. Of course, if you're tired of it, you can always say goodbye. Maybe I'll give you a quick peek at some of the other pages that I have to do before I go away. I'm not going to finish them tonight because my kitchen needs to be cleaned up. I just have so much going on these days. I thought I was going to have a day to stay home today. And then my mom called to remind me that my dad had an appointment at the hospital. He just doesn't have the energy to walk from the parking lot. And even once he gets in the clinic, he doesn't walk around in there. I drop him off, he goes in and gets in a wheelchair and waits for me to park the car and then go in and get him, take him to his appointments. But he is going to have another iron infusion Friday, so hopefully that will give him some more strength. He's anemic in addition to other things. I'm not going to peel that off, but I did get it, so there we go. So anyway, I had forgotten. I wrote his appointment down on a piece of paper in my purse, but I didn't put it in my planner. So it's a good thing my mom called to remind me. And then when I picked him up, he told me that he's going to have that infusion on Friday. And that takes a while. But that's okay. I know ahead of time. It's fine. I want him to have the iron. He needs it. So I have a lot of work to do. And here I am sitting here playing with paper that's glued onto paper. I'm not going to try to save that. Okay, that's done. This is torn too, but I don't know if it's worth saving. It's not too bad. I might be able to do something with it. Let me see what we have on the back. Oh, that came loose. I think this is a copy of something that's dated 1880. I'm sure this isn't that old. That came floating off. Some chicken and a chicken and some chicks. Cute. Oh, see, it just needed a little more time. I think that's it. Okay, I'm gonna take this pan out to the kitchen because I don't want to spill it, and then I'm going to just show you quickly some of these pages that have to be done. So I'll be right back. I'm gonna edit this part out. Okay, I safely carried the water out without spilling it. So what other goodies do we have here? That's a bookmark from a shoe store. That's cool. I like that. We're not going to look at every individual piece. I'm just going to show you what I have. Oh, these are beautiful. Look at that. Wow. This was from a Sunday school. This one has lots of little pieces on it. Big card in the middle. And Leon spelled his name with these beautiful flowered letters. That's probably an L that's missing, so it's Leon J. Talbot. That is pretty cool. All right, so this has some pieces stuck to it. Maybe they'll float off, and I'll be able, it looks like flower and a girl. I hope they come off so we can see them. Some little tiny pieces. It's a little bird. Came right off. It looked like it was loose. This looks like Max Klinger from MASH. Who watched MASH? My husband and I used to watch MASH. We had the DVD sets. Now, I had a digital of her. I used her in an Irish journal. I wish she was whole. He has a piece stuck to his face, so hopefully that will come off. Uh-oh, the page cracked and took her head right off. Maybe I can glue her together. Some of them are in pretty bad shape. She is perfect. Looks like she'll come off. Oh, I'm gonna soak her. Someone really enjoyed their scrapbook. It's got some calling cards. At 3 years of age and at 60. That is creepy. Oh my word. Look at this beautiful piece. And it's in perfect shape. If I can get it off. Oh, it's got doors. Oh, wow. I love that. I want to use that in a journal. 'Tis health I give to thee. Safe cure. Whatever that is. She's handing him a box of Safe Cure. Well, this is Safe Yeast, so I wonder if that is from the same company. There's Santa Claus in the chimney. This card, this little envelope says, "We little kittens wish to say we send our love this Christmas day." Uh-oh. It's getting paddled. I think I've seen this little guy before. Maybe in some ephemera. Digital or not. She has a skirt made of wheat, and it's advertising boots and shoes. Oh, I like this one. There's a chicken hatching her chicks, and there's the rooster. It says an Easter souvenir. I've never seen the little ones like that, the tiny, tiny, tiny ones. Probably because they don't survive. I have a lot of work to do, obviously. She's on, well, I thought that felt sturdy, but it's because it's on this. She's pretty, very regal looking. There's, oh, too bad the horse is torn up, but that's a cart for Borden's condensed milk and bottled milk and cream. That's cool. I wonder if they went together. Okay, so that's all I have to do. I don't know when I'll get to it. I hope before too long, because I want to get them all divided up and put in my shop. I've had this scrapbook for a good while. I mean, I just got it this past summer, but it's just been sitting here waiting for me to get to it. So I hope that that answered some questions for you, and you can see some of the difficulty in soaking the pages to get the papers off, and also how easy it is for some of the pieces. There will be damage to some things, but it's worth it to preserve others, I think. So I hope you enjoyed that, and I'll see you in the next video. Have a creative day. Bye.